Are you selling your handmade work online? Maybe you're selling on Etsy, Amazon Handmade, or both, or maybe you're selling on neither. In this video, we're going to compare Etsy versus Amazon. Hi, I'm Tanner, and if you haven't seen us before, my wife Amy and I are full-time artists who make a wide range of different crafts using a variety of techniques and materials. Our channel is filled with craft tutorials and also videos about how to get started selling your handmade work. We hope you'll join us on our channel, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you're like us, you probably love testing new markets, new galleries, and new online platforms to sell your handmade work. But what we all have to keep in mind when we're doing this, because it's easy to get carried away, is that we only have so much time for creating listings, for going into galleries, for preparing work to send in to, say, FBA, or just getting shipments ready to send out for our regular Etsy shops, etc. And this really can definitely cut into our family time with our pets, our time with our friends, our time creating the perfect action figure collection. Whatever it is that you're up to in your personal life is going to be directly impacted by your activities in your handmade business. So you want to maximize the time that you're spending on each venture that you're participating in. In today's video, I'm going to save you some time by comparing Etsy and Amazon Handmade. If you learn anything from the video, please click like and hit subscribe and help us push our message out and our information out to as many other people as we can. So we want to help as many people as possible with the information that we've learned. So the first item up is customer service related, and it's responding to messages. On Amazon, you've got 24 hours to respond to any message you receive, no matter what it is. Even if it's not about even one of your own items, it could be a mistake that you received, you have to do something with it. And the least you can do is click no response needed, but that's not really providing great customer service. And so what you need to do is respond to the customer in some way and just let them know yes or no, or hey, that's not my item. Probably the most interesting one that we received on Amazon was we received a series of messages from the same customer, and they really wanted one of our purses, but they wanted to trade crocheted items that they'd made on their farm for the purse, or for part of the purse cost. And that wasn't really something that you can even do on Amazon. Like, that's absolutely not acceptable as far as Amazon's considered. And it really wasn't something that we wanted to do at the time. Turned out we were able to trade with them, which was money for the purse, but we did have to respond and say, you know, hey, we can't do that for you right now. And maybe there's something else we can put your initials on the bag or something extra to make it nice for you as an add-on, but we cannot trade or barter on Amazon. Now, when you're on Etsy, you don't ever have to respond to a message. You won't get in trouble. They don't monitor it. They will monitor it if you say something that maybe wasn't the best thing to say. They may get involved if the customer asks them to, but if you never respond, you absolutely never need to worry about it. It doesn't matter. It's not providing good customer service, but if someone asks you something that you don't know how to answer, or maybe you don't have time to answer, whatever the case is, you can just leave it, and you don't have to respond. You won't get in trouble for that. So the next item up is listing fees. On Amazon, presently there are no listing fees or monthly subscription fees, although Amazon, for the last 5 years that they've been doing Amazon Handmade, have been talking about implementing some sort of monthly subscription fee, just similar to what they charge their non-handmade clients, but it hasn't materialized yet. However, it may happen at some point in the future. No one knows yet. As for Etsy, every listing costs you 20 cents USD to put up, and you don't have to pay anything else other than that. The third item on our list is product backgrounds for your photos. So on Amazon, shortly they will be implementing a mandatory white background for every photo, or at least the thumbnail photo that you're putting up. With Etsy, it's not mandatory. You can do whatever you want with it. You can do your kind of curated Instagram looking photos if you want, or you can do the basic white one. It's up to you. So next up is customer returns. For Amazon Handmade, you do have to honor customer returns, especially with FBA, but with the exception of customized items. You don't have to take returns on those. So if the person wants initials or something like that on there, that's not a returnable item as far as Amazon is concerned. With Etsy, you can set up a returns policy, and that returns policy can be no returns accepted if that's what you would like. Our next item up is the sign-up process. With Amazon, you actually have to apply and then you get juried in and accepted once they've reviewed your items, just like applying to a juried craft show, for example. With Etsy, it's more like just applying to a trade show. You sign up, you pay your money, you're good to go. You are supposed to list handmade items, vintage, or craft supplies. In some cases, unfortunately, some of the items aren't actually handmade that are on Etsy, but in general, that's sort of the premise of the site. Next, we're going to talk about competition on both sites. On Amazon Handmade, you're actually competing with all of Amazon. So you're competing with just thousands and thousands of mass-produced products and other handmade items. In many cases, Amazon's customers don't even realize there is Amazon Handmade, or that your item in particular is actually handmade. On Etsy, on the other hand, you can take out all those thousands of mass-produced items, and you're just competing with other handmade items or vintage items, generally speaking. So our next point is kind of tied to the last one, and that's customer base. On Amazon, there's over 300 million active users worldwide versus Etsy, where there's just about 46 million users. The advantage being, again, of course, that the people on Etsy are actually looking generally for handmade items. Okay, the next one is pretty important. It's payments. So on Amazon, in general, regular Amazon and Amazon Handmade, the payments are only available after the item has actually shipped. So if you need money once you've sold the item to go and make the item, like to buy your supplies, etc., this isn't a very good option for you because you can't actually get it until you've actually verified that you've sent the item. And then after that, you still have to wait a period of time too before you actually get the deposit because you're on Amazon's payment schedule. With Etsy, you can set up your own payment schedule, and generally the funds are available almost right away. So if you need the money right away, Etsy is definitely a better option to consider in this case. Now we're going to talk about categories. On Amazon, there's far fewer categories defined, so you may not be able to actually sell the type of item you sell if it's sort of a niche item or just something that Amazon hasn't thought about yet. The category may not even exist on Amazon, which is weird to think, but it does happen. With Etsy, there's over 150 defined categories, so it doesn't matter what you're making, generally they've got you covered. So next up is shipping, and this is a hot topic for anyone selling anything, anywhere online. With Amazon, for the FBA items, so that's items that you've sent into Amazon, they do encourage you to have it presented as free shipping. It's a little bit dicey. We're not sure exactly how much they're charging to actually ship it, as they're the ones shipping it, and they don't 100% disclose that to you. They do disclose, of course, how much fees you paid, but that's sort of rolled into their overall fee structure, and it doesn't say we paid X amount of dollars to ship your item. It's not 100% clear, so when you're pricing your item, you need to keep that in mind, and unfortunately it may take a little bit of trial and error at first to find out how much your item's going to actually cost you in fees once one is sold, and then you can maybe adjust your price from there on. With Etsy, they've been encouraging to kind of keep up with Amazon. They're encouraging their sellers to present free shipping as well, and what their advice was, well, just roll the cost of shipping into the price of the item and then put it as $0 to ship. That's not really that transparent, for one thing, to the customer, and for another thing, it does move your product from one bracket up to another, meaning that you now, if your customer is searching items under $50 and now your item with shipping happened to be $52, they're not going to see it anymore. So they're going to have to expand their search to actually just see your item. And if everyone on Etsy did that, and absolutely every seller just rolled that legitimate real cost of shipping in and put free shipping, this would work, but that's not happening. So you have to be aware of that when you're considering the free shipping option. Next, in relation to shipping, we're going to talk about tracking. With tracking for Amazon, you have to have a 95% valid tracking rate, which means you have to put in a tracking number for 95% of the items that you send out with Amazon. With Etsy, you don't have to do that. You don't have to put in a tracking number at all, although often the customer will request it. So if you don't include tracking numbers with Etsy, you should just put that in the listing and say that I don't send items tracked, or this particular item is sent letter mail, etc. But with Amazon, even if it's sent letter mail, or you've charged it out at letter mail, you still have to include a tracking number, or maybe just as a one-off you could get away with it. But if you're sending 100 items, 95 of them have to have tracking on Amazon. So how similar are they? Well, they're similar enough to copy your listing information from one platform to the other, but in the end, as we mentioned earlier in the video, you have to decide how much time you have in your life to work on this. From creating the item, to getting it listed, to making the custom orders and shipping them out to the customers. It's entirely up to what fits with your life. And no matter which option you choose, I would recommend using a heavy helping of Turtle Power to get you there. If you learned anything in this video, please hit the like button and please subscribe to our channel for our future content.